91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York, Paris Monster with Water to the Well. You wrote that.
Jeff and I wrote it. Yeah, we
do you write them all together?
We write all the songs together.
Together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
I want to get to Paris Monster, but I like to do a little timeline. I always say, Josh, Dion, this is your life. So you were born and raised in Connecticut?
I was.
Yeah. And you started drums like really early, before kindergarten, because your dad was a drummer?
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me, like you just picked it up because he was playing?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I was lucky. Like I was around drums and music before I can remember, and he
Love that.
He bought me an amazing drum set.
At 5?
I think it was actually something like 3. It's
Come
like ridiculous.
on.
Yeah. Champagne Sparkle, Slingerland 1961, and if I were smarter, I would still have that.
Oh my.
But,
wow. What a lovely thing to
know.
have that early. Holy.
Vintage drums. You know, we had like a Hammond organ in the house, and musicians come in and out and stuff. And this is when I was really young, and a full stack of vinyl. My older brother, well versed in music, and
He liked the Grateful Dead.
he loved the Grateful Dead and Cream. And I remember him introducing me to all the great bands.
How much older?
Of that time? 9 years older.
Oh, that was a good. So he really.
Really knew. So it was like between all that and I don't remember ever choosing to do this. I guess if that sounds weird, but in a sense, it was just always something that was there. So.
That you were there. So did you take lessons when you were that young, or?
I never took lessons until, it was like there was this amazing teacher who I actually finally reunited with in the Connecticut area, who when I was in I want to say going into the 4th grade, Catherine Nemasic was doing a band in the middle school, and they needed a drummer for the beginning band, and she called my dad and said, "Hey, would Josh want to play drum set for this?" And now I had never played with people really, and I didn't know anything about conducting. I remember all I did was, do like Ringo Starr or John Bonham or whatever it was. And I remember one great thing was when she would stop the song with conducting, I would just keep playing. And she's like, "No,
Stop.
Josh, when I take the baton and I go like this, you stop."
You had no idea.
So I had no idea.
Oh,
like
that's
I was
so
just,
cute.
it was just, yeah. So I was really little. And so she basically taught me about music. Just in terms of listening and what form is and what songs are and
maybe how to play with others.
Play with
also.
others. Yeah, totally. And it happened very fast for me. And before I knew it, I was into jazz and that was something that my dad never really got so into that I really got into jazz and stuff.
And how old were you when you got into jazz?
What's 5th grade? Like, I don't know.
Jeez,
Yeah,
wow,
9 or
5th grade.
something.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, so and so my dad had a job at the high school, and he was working in the audiovisual department. And summertime, I'd be with him. The students weren't there, so I'd go in the library and hang out. And they had all these old records, and they had this huge Leonard Feather Encyclopedia of Jazz. And I used to laminate. I used to make posters of artists like King Oliver and Robert Johnson or whoever else, and I would laminate these posters and hang them up in my room.
Oh my God! Wow.
And so I became like obsessed with all that early jazz and stuff.
Wow.
So that's like when I was really little.
Really, really
Yeah.
little. Wow. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah.
And then you sang in the church choir?
I kind
Were you a little older then?
I went to a off the beaten path Pentecostal church, and it was like kind of out there actually. And they didn't I didn't sing in the choir, but I was super influenced by the music there. They had a really diverse congregation, and there was all kinds of different music, and it was really the first time I had ever heard any real black gospel music was the Harris Brothers and Sisters, and another fellow by the name of Reverend Melvin Sanchez would get up and sing their songs. And Melvin asked me to play drums because he knew I could play. And I think I was 11 or something like that. And so that was, and I remember thinking, how do you sing like that? That was what I really I think back then it really hit a spark because I had never tried to sing.
Right.
And so I think I wasn't born a singer, and so I remember the seed was planted in terms of both spirituality and how it flowed through you within music as well, and
sure.
also in terms of like just the singing thing, which would come later for me. And then I had some friends in high school who encouraged me to join the choir, and it just kind of slowly.
You played
happened.
music while you were in high school, like in the high school like play or
I
anything?
always played I always played in the school concert band, jazz band, the music geeks. That was my refuge.
Yep.
And the people in the arts and theater, like those are the kids that I got along with everybody, but I was always
You felt at home there.
Theater kids, music kids, that was my vibe,
Yeah, absolutely. And then I understand that like at 12 years old, you were invited to the Yukon Jazz Studies program?
You see, what happened was I had started to like, quote unquote, hang out with the wrong kids, and they were worried about me. So they said, he's not being challenged. So they actually put me in like the worst combo in the college. And that was the first time that I ever heard bebop. Because I hadn't really been exposed to anything post Gene Krupa, and it was like this combo was and I saw a drummer by the name of Jeff Hamilton, who's an amazing drummer, but it was the first time I'd ever seen someone play like a small drum kit, like a Max Roach 18-inch bass drum. And that whole language is so different than what I was used to. I just remember being like, what is this, And so they had like Miles Davis and all this stuff, and I didn't know anything about that stuff.
Well, you were 12.
I was 12. So,
yeah.
And I met this guy, Dave Santoro, who I would actually know for years, who's taught there, who's a fabulous bass player and kind of a Connecticut legend in that sense. And so that was a seed that was planted. I didn't stay in that group, but that was like, I would actually go on to play in the Yukon Jazz Ensemble when I was in high school. And I'm thankful for Yukon, because like where I grew up in Stores, that's the whole town really,
right.
And because of excess overflow from a music scene that had existed in the 70s and 80s from a club called the Shabu, which was in the town next to us in Willimantic. That coupled with University of Connecticut, I was able to have some influence with music. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was cool.
Did you know Tony Leone?
Oh my God. I used to go see Tony when I was 17. I kind of stopped playing drums because the church.
He's from that area, isn't he?
He's from that area. No, Tony is like one of the Connecticut drummers. And when I was 17, I used to go down to Rudy's in New Haven and watch him play like a Tuesday night gig. And he was like one of the best bebop drummers in the whole area.
Wow.
And it was like I was checking out Philly Joe Jones and Art Taylor.
And he's a singing drummer.
He's a singing drummer.
Was he singing back then?
I don't think so.
Uh-huh.
And Tony was like one of the guys that I was like, how do I play like this?
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit older than me, so he was an influence, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, who knew? Connecticut makes some good drummers.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So you went to college in Jersey?
I did, because of all these people who were in this.
What did you go to college for? Like, what did you major in?
Jazz studies.
All right. All right. I was waiting to business or economics or something.
No. I've been on this wave
forever.
The whole time.
Okay.
Whether or not, it was a decision that socially worked out in the end, regardless of whether the degree does anything or not.
Right.
And that's in the ether as well, actually. So who knows?
Right.
But
right. But you also, while you were in college, did what we're doing right here. You were a DJ.
Oh my God!
The college radio station. Was it Jazz Show? Or no, you had two shows, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. So it started off in Connecticut because I had no clue what I was doing. So I took a year off before college, and I just bummed around. And someone said, "Hey, you should go to Eastern State, Connecticut, and get a radio show." So I started a jazz show. And then, but I had become in high school, I had become obsessed with funk, and like to the point of people probably didn't want to, talk to me about it anymore. And I remember I was doing a jazz show, and this guy walks in who's still a friend of mine. This guy Marco Fontaine, who has a show in Connecticut. He walked in all punked out, leather jacket, all the pins and spikes. And I'm thinking, who's this guy? And the next thing I know, we became really good friends. And he knew more about jazz than I did. I had no idea.
Wow.
This guy was like a serious record collector, like beyond probably anybody I've met still. Like,
really?
Yeah, really serious to this day. Like, I've got some friends where, I mean, I love vinyl, but like, I'll never amount to this level. And so I think it was either through him or something, I ended up changing the show to a funk style show. And he would come on, and another friend of mine, Justin Wade, who was the first person who showed me Parliament.
Oh.
And I was doing dishes at Willington Pizza, this place that's still there. I was 15, and they played Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh.
And so those were some seeds that were planted. And like I kind of went and I bought like every Earth, Wind, and Fire album.
Yeah.
And I got all the Parliament. And then from there, I got compilations, and I started to check out every artist on the compilation and what albums got. It's amazing to even have done that back then. Of course, now
right.
I'm still finding out every city had all these bands that I would have never found.
Yeah.
You know,
it's great to discover new music.
it really is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, I love that.
So and when at William Patterson, I did a radio show too.
Yeah.
I really
and that
loved
was,
it.
what was that?
The Funk Machine.
That was the Funk Machine. That was the Funk Machine.
It was.
I love that. The Funk Machine show and then the jazz show. Wow. 2 of them.
Yeah.
So you, of course, being at William Patterson, close to New York, so that's when you moved over to New York?
It's true. Well, the thing was about William Patterson was it was lumped into the schools like Manhattan School of Music and New School and all those, and they had a lot of the same teachers. And it was a lot more like, it was a lot cheaper to move to New Jersey and just go to school there.
Absolutely.
And like I immediately started working and doing gigs. I would work at Terra Blues on Sunday nights with Mo Holmes and the Pioneers. I like got in some local bands that did like covers and stuff. And I started playing the bitter end. I finally started to write my own music, and I started to sing and all this. And
when did the singing come in?
Okay, so I was one of my first touring experiences with a band called Ulu, ULU, and they were more in the jam band world, and it was kind of like a Herbie Hancock Headhunters vibe. It's like a lot of vintage keyboards, saxophone, bass, and drums, and no singing. But one of the guys, Scott Chaslin, who was in the band, he had started to be a songwriter, and he was writing songs and stuff, and I remember thinking, like, I was influenced by that. And I started to write lyrics on the road in the van, and so that was when I started to write, and that was when I kind of got more serious about singing, so I started.
When you write as a drummer, do you use an instrument to write? Like, do you use piano or guitar or?
Both, and or from the drums. Actually, now is that the best stuff happens when there's no instrument there, and it's weird because of modern technology, having the voice memos always there. I feel like sometimes I'll come up with some really cool melodies, and I don't have perfect pitch or anything, but I'll hear a melody and I'll sing something, and I'll go back later and be like, oh, it's in B flat or it's whatever, and then I'll try to put some chords underneath it. And sometimes that really leads to some cool stuff.
I bet.
But yeah, I write in any possible way, and it comes all kinds of different ways.
Does it come in spurts to you writing, or like do you sit like almost every day? Are you diligent with it, or
I'm not diligent,
No.
and that's part of the problem. But it happens constantly. Like it's something. It's like a faucet for me. I feel like I've got so much unfinished stuff. I can't tell if some of it's just for my own sanity, or whether it'll ever see the light of day.
Wow.
But I'm definitely like, I love to write. I can't help it. I run. I got really into running on trails the past couple of years, and that's like my new like obsession, really. And
Really? Good for you.
Thank you. And so much writing.
What, since the pandemic or something? Or
Even just the past 2 years. Like because where I live in Ringwood, New Jersey, there's not much happening. And though I love the family life now, I've got 2 kids and a wife, and it's like everything has changed for me in a positive way. But moving from Brooklyn was pretty brutal at first.
Yeah.
And I've always been really into history, and there's a lot of rich history where I live. And so somehow it just turned into running on trails and kind of running to historical destinations.
Oh, wow.
So I just Yeah. And I really push myself. But the lyrics, the melodies, all that stuff happens while that's happening too.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh.
Yeah.
So having children must inspire you in writing and
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Changes everybody's
I
perspective.
have a lot of work I have to finish, actually, that's about them.
Yeah. How old are they?
My daughter Seraphine is going to be 7 and my son Jack is 2.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's changes perspective on life in general, having kids. It's
I'm
like
telling you.
really something. Do they play anything?
Seraphina is singing quite well, I have to
Really?
say.
Love
Yeah.
that.
It's inspiring. Like, she's really into it. And I have to say, like, I'm sure a lot of parents could say the same thing. Like, when you try to make something happen, it does not happen.
No.
And when you just sit back and watch it happen, then you're just amazed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they guide us. We don't guide them
Yeah,
that much.
so-
You know, it's a middle of the ground kind of a thing. That's
Yep.
so cool. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll see her singing with Dad someday.
I would love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take her out as much as I can.
That's so cool.
Yep.
So Ulu, I love that name.
It's great.
And you toured with them,
Yep.
and that was your first gig traveling. Where'd you guys travel to?
It was like, the United States, probably not past Colorado in terms of West. And my first time being in a van, just doing gigs, like
Love
just
it.
partying. I mean, I think that I was 21, or maybe not even, and I think that it was just
That's
great to get out of. I was like kind of doing the wedding band thing and like local stuff, and I was just, it was so good for me to get out and see that, because then
Yeah.
when you see another band doing it, you're like, oh, I can do this.
right.
You know?
Yeah, I'm able to do
Yeah.
this. And then you met somebody that I also know. You met Phil Brennan.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Yeah, I had gotten a call. I was so after Ulu, the first person to bring me into the older, I always call it like the older New York studio fusion scene, was a guy named Chuck Loeb,
Mm-hmm.
who's a brilliant guitarist that we lost years ago,
Yeah.
sadly, and he was just
How did he find you? Through Ulu?
through a guy that I did a wedding with. Yeah.
Amazing.
What's his name? Gary, this sax player, man. This guy was an old school. And he said to him, "Kid plays drums, sings great, and he shows up early."
Ah, what else do you need?
Yeah, I can't. God, I'm. Yeah. Anyway, it was like one of Chuck's gurus was the sax player that I play with. Who's
And so the sax player told Chuck about you.
Yeah, and so yeah, Chuck got me on, and that opened up this whole new world of Will Lee and Randy Brecker and Bob James, and the next thing I know, I'm, it's interesting how all of a sudden, because we all we grow up listening to John Scofield or whoever the hell,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, this is so far away from me right now,
Yeah,
but it's actually not. It's like such a small community,
it is.
and once you get into that, especially with those guys,
Everybody knows everybody.
they're all right there.
Yeah.
So I was playing at the Blue Note, and Phil Brennan was there, and
And he, of course, is the manager for Spyro Gyra.
He
In case
is.
people listening aren't, don't know who Phil Brennan is. And by the way, we're talking to Josh Dion, who is a drummer extraordinaire. And those are not my words. Those are words by many, many other people. I've seen you play a couple times too, and you're just a badass. That's all I know. I remember seeing you at the Falcon that time and running up to you. I'm like, can you come on my show? I'd love to talk to you. Tell me again who you were there with when I saw you.
Chrissy Poland.
Chrissy
Yeah, very, very old
Poland.
friend of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, is she? Oh, that's so cool.
Well, we were kind of coming up at the same time, like
Yeah.
on Bleecker Street, and like just doing shows.
What a vocal. What a talent.
crazy vocals. It's
Yeah.
always been like that with them.
Yeah.
Ever since the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you met Phil, and then you also played on a record with.
Well, I did because, and this is my favorite kind of thing to have happened to me, because I'm not lazy, but preparation. I mean, I can prepare. Maybe I over prepare, but they called me the day of, and they said, "Hey, can you come up and play on this Spyro Gyra record?"
Whoa. Where was that?
Bear Track Studio,
Wow.
which is no longer
Is
a
no longer
studio,
there. Yeah.
and so
Day of.
that is just my dream, because there's no pressure.
Right.
I'm just like,
Right.
okay,
Right.
if it sucks, and that ended up being a really great record. I mean, it's like,
Wow.
And those guys are great. I mean, it was a great experience.
And they've been around for decades. I remember one time with Spyro Gyra, this was like funny, years ago, maybe 6-7 years ago, right before the pandemic, my daughter and I went over to Alaska, and we did a cruise out of Seattle, in Seattle for a couple times, and I love jazz, so I Googled jazz near me, and Dimitri's Club, Dimitri's Jazz Alley, it's like, the mecca of jazz in Seattle. I'm like, oh, who's there? Spyro Gyra. I contacted Phil. I'm like, dude, I already bought my tickets, but love to say hi after the show. Nice. So saw him in Seattle, and what a great band. They're so good. They're
super
so
cool.
good.
And actually, he really helped me out. He let me come in and record all my first stuff in that studio. It's like a really beautiful studio. I had no idea how lucky I was.
Do you remember your first recording session?
Yeah, because we did a demo. There were demos basically, and I remember I would shop it around to get gigs. At the Bitter End, for instance, where it's like that's like a family hang at this point. I've been playing there since 2003.
Wow.
And
I think my daughter's friend does sound there.
Yeah.
Justin.
Oh yeah, I know Justin.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. They went to college together.
Cool.
He's a good sound engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's just an institution, and we're still, and it's interesting how scenes change, and everybody's kind of circled back to that place, which for me, is totally fine. Because, I'm so comfortable there.
Yeah, because you know it, the space, the sound, the acoustics. It's just home for you. Yeah.
So, but yeah, Phil, helped me out with my first band and all my first recordings, and he's just was my first manager.
Wow. Wow, that's really cool.
Actually, the only manager I've had, just personally.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, yeah. No, he just seems like a really nice guy and loves the music, and that's so important.
No, he likes deep cuts too.
Yeah.
He knows a lot of stuff from that, off the beaten path, and he's a good dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I think we should do, I'll play another track.
Okay.
And then let's get into Paris Monster.
Let's do it.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm hoping I'm playing the right thing here. So
Vision Complete. Do you see that?
I see it up here.
At the top, yeah.
Yeah, so I see it up here, but I don't see it down here. So, I'm not great with technology, and it's live radio, but there we go. I got it. Okay, so we're talking with Josh Dion of Paris Monster, and we're going to listen to the track called A Vision Complete right here, right now on 91.3.
I'll spend all this time on something without breaking for lunch, for no other reason than a vision drawn up right. It's not perfectly written with care and precision. It won't take off flight. Oh, a vision complete, but nothing in the distance. I've had my share, but never a one that could anyone unlatch, open and bear to see what I've seen and what it says of me. Then I might be an ass, and I'm so much getting back and deserve it. At the end of the day, over dinner in the face, I was searching. And it once had been coming, but I never found the time to preserve it. It's all on me, she felt to me especially, yeah. I'm a lucky man with a patient one beside me. To lay a mirror such a pity resolve to make it witty, never know what I might say. I'm not writing to please my family. The woman would hold me still. It's
writing to feed my family. But she might never point that I'm in the morning, I know this. She a slave to the day, and the dinner that she laid was ambitious. But the roast, to be clear, wasn't witty either, dear. And I'll be bold enough to say, you're not cooking to please our family. And I might be an ass, but I'm ass enough to act like a wise one. And I might lack a wit, but I'm apt enough to finish up the trifle. But my words, to be fair, are precise and though I care, you never know what I might say. I'm not writing to please my family. I'm not writing to please my family. I'm not writing to please my family. I'm not writing to please my family.
.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York, a vision complete. Paris Monster, Josh Dion in the house. So, Paris Monster, this is your group. You've been together for
a long time.
20 years?
Well, not that long, but almost. I mean, we've known each other that long. You know?
And you and your bandmate?
Jeff Craley.
Jeff Craley. That's it, Jeff. I couldn't remember the last name. So, okay, so talk about how you two got together.
You know, we were both in the music scene. I mean, it's kind of funny because in my freshman year of college, I'm going up to upstate with my friend Vinny Speranza, great drummer, and he invited me up to his family's for Thanksgiving. And I'm
Where upstate? Like New York?
By Utica,
Okay.
a town called Sequoit.
Yeah.
And of course, Vinny is like a musicologist, and he's playing the band the whole way up there. And now you have to understand, I grew up around classic rock, but I really didn't know the band. Like I only knew like The Wait or Cripple Creek or whatever.
Yep.
And here's this guy who's like trying to delve into singing, drumming. And here I am in the car driving upstate. We're like 20 years old or whatever, 19. And he's playing the band. It's like the greatest singing drummer of all time, you know?
Levon.
And I'm like, okay, so, and it was like a special trip that I'll always remember. And I met Jeff on that trip because Jeff was Vinny's childhood friend. And they grew up together. And Jeff is just an immensely talented bass player from up there who was kind of in the...
Wow, imagine if you hadn't gone up there for Thanksgiving.
I'm telling you, yeah. I probably would have met him eventually, but it was better this way. So they were... Let's see if I can remember how this actually went, but they were... Jeff was playing a gig with this guy who's like his... who's someone who used to hire him for gigs, mentor, Rick Montalbano, piano player. And so they had me sit on piano, which is really funny looking back because I'm like not a great piano player. And so I remember we played Alone together, this beautiful standard, and I'm like this drummer playing piano, clunking around. Somehow, I don't know what it sounded like, but that's how Jeff and I met. And Rick was like, "Yeah, drummer, knock the damn piano out of tune."
Love it.
Anyway, so
where was he from? Jeff?
Jeff is from I can't remember the exact town, but like Hamilton, New York, I'm going to say.
So he's
Hubbardsville,
upstate.
Hamilton, yeah. And so we were in this, but he moved down to New York. So I just wanted to tell that story just to give kind of a funny backdrop. But so he ended up moving down to New York, and he was doing like singer-songwriter gigs and stuff. And now Jeff had really developed into this brilliant lyricist, like writing some wild lyrics. And we had both been in bands that had ended, and I had a gig just under Josh Dion that was like a festival gig at this Southern Jersey small festival called Camp Jam. And we decided, I had tried to put together some bands with guitar players, and I remember it just like never amounted to what my band was, which was like a guitar-driven roots rock band.
The Josh Dion band.
Yeah. And it was like just not working. Like I had no idea what I was doing, and I had whatever I did, I was expecting it to be what had already been, and it was never going to be that. And so I was putting too much pressure on these people I was hiring too. And so Jeff and I said, let's just do the gig duo. And so he like had all these pedals, and I like brought a Nord Electro, and it was like just we kind of played this show duo, and somehow the show went really well. And there's actually a couple of clips online of this, and it's like not completely embarrassing.
Wow.
And it's comical, because it's like it's almost Spinal Tap to see me doing this, you know.
Right.
Not almost, definitely. And but people loved it, and we quickly decided that like playing a Nord Electro just looked really dumb. And but we honed in on it, and we were like, this is great. And he kept telling me about this modular synth, which is like, you know, something that had existed for a long time, but I had no idea what it was. And he was trying to explain to me that like we could play to this thing, which I basically call the funk box. It basically spits rhythms out at us, a synthesizer that we play to. And so that's kind of part of the band. It's basically me playing synth and drums, singing as a front man, and this modular kind of plays. It's almost like it's not a loop, it's not a sequence, but it's kind of like that. We play to it.
Wow.
And that's what it is that you're hearing.
How did you guys get the name Paris Monster?
Well, it's a very lesser known historical term from like 1799. My wife, who's now a principal, was a history teacher at the time. And she saw this political cartoon, and she was like, and we didn't know what to call it, so we just called it that for this gig or whatever.
And it stuck.
And it just kind of became the name, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. The way I like to look at it, and, you know, the way that you look at anything is try to find out what it actually means.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like a beautiful chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what the band is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got these kind of pristine lyrics with this like really like just throw down, gritty, nasty bass, drums, a lot of soul, you know, and stuff like that. So
it's so cool. And you guys have been playing for a really long time. You've toured Europe. You just did tour Europe in the spring too, or?
No, that was in the Northeast. I mean, we've always been a band that's been on the cusp of being like a full-time touring band. It's never quite gotten there. We almost got there. 2017 to 2019, we were like super busy. Mm-hmm. Then COVID hit, and I got to say, like, we've never gotten back to playing that much again. Mm-hmm. You know, I had kids, the whole thing.
Right.
Schofield gig happened, and I really wanted to do that. That wasn't super time demanding, but it was.
How did you meet John Schofield?
He got my number through Vicente Archer, who plays bass and in his band, and a few other people were nice enough to recommend me for that. So that kind of happened in the middle of Paris Monster. So I was just doing those two things. You know, but we're out there. We're still.
Must be kind of cool playing with Schofield.
That was amazing.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
Just saw him Sunday night. You know, we had that Jack DeJohnette celebration of life up here at UPAC. It was 4 hours. The people that were on that gig, I should have brought the program in and showed it to you. Mind blowing. And no one got paid. It was everybody doing this for the love of Jack. And it went to charity to the family of Woodstock and the table of Woodstock. And it was just, you see so much stuff online. I was talking to Danny Melnick today, who produced the show, and the press that's coming out on this, people are like so glad that we were there, because it was like, you don't see that very often. Pat Metheny, like, as intricate, like he was neighbors with Jack for 40 years. They were like really close friends. And one of the most, for me, still goosebumps, poignant moments, there were over 50 musicians. And at one point, Metheny sits on the side of the stage, pulls out this guitar, and just starts playing this track with a video of Jack on his property up in Willow, New York. Just beautiful.
Wow.
Just beautiful. Terry Lynn Carrington opened the show with Jack's gong and did the gong. And then at the end of the show, at 4 hours later, ended it with that. And at the end, 50 people were on stage, all just doing something. They had Jack's Sonar drums on the stage, 2 kits.
Wow.
It just, I'm not that eloquent with words. It was just so heartfelt and so beautiful. It was a really nice night. So Schofield was there. That's where I'm trying to come to.
I'm sure he was, yeah.
Because he played with Jack in this group called Hudson.
Oh, yeah.
With Medeski
Yeah.
and Larry Grenadier and Schofield and DeJeanette. I had
Yeah.
Medeski here a couple of weeks ago.
Right on.
And he was talking about that and how Jack brought them together. And of course, they're all from the Hudson Valley, living in the Hudson Valley area. So they called themselves Hudson. And man, oh man. But what a drummer, right? He must have been somebody you listened to.
Forget about it. Yeah, I had this. I mean, obviously, I had so many albums with Jack on them. But I think one of the first ones I got was a Keith album, Keith Jarrett, called The Cure. I want to say it was called, or something like that. And I really wore that one out, man.
That's
I used to
nice.
try and emulate whatever feel that Jack had. That's kind of like impossible to emulate. It's like this in between.
He was a little singing drummer at
Flowing.
times too, you know.
Well, there's the famous Up on Cripple Creek.
Yeah.
I always wanted
he
to see
did
that.
Dirty Ground with Hudson, and that was
Yeah.
cool. I've played that a couple times on the show to promote this event that we just had at UPAC on Sunday.
That's
and yeah, man, what a beautiful life well lived.
Oh,
and
my
what
God.
a legend. I mean,
Yeah.
the people he's played with is just like, what?
Yeah.
What? And then they showed old clips of him. It was just amazing. It was like, if you're there, you understood what we experienced that night. I don't know the next time you get those kind of people all together. Like Schofield just comes up,
Just
Frizzell
yeah.
comes up, you know.
Well, no, that's that's how it feels in a sense. I mean, not that overwhelming to have them all there at one time, but for me to have been around this scene for a while and to have just kind of gone through all these different vibes with
Yeah.
people like that, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you're a kid, you're just kind of like, it seems so far away, and then like one day you're there with all
You're
of them.
there with them.
And you're just like, oh, these are just people,
Yeah.
kind of. They're like
Kind
alien.
of,
They're
yeah.
all like alien humans who are
Yeah.
all surrounding me.
Where did you play with Schofield? Because he tours Europe a lot.
Yeah, I mean, with Sco, it's like he's a really so when he asks you to be in his band, like he like really trusts that everybody's going to make the gigs, and he commits to you, you know. And he's like, we're going to do this. And it's going to be like 2 or 3 tours a year, and they book way in advance, which is great. And it's like we are together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, I never felt like, oh man, I'm going to get kicked out because of something. And, you know, like he really,
Like he commits to you.
he commits to you. It's like super cool. I got to say, I love that about him.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was great. It was the best situation that could have happened for me, because then I can work around that schedule and do Paris Monster or whatever else, and not be too, you know, clamped down to some big gig where it's like you're on retainer or whatever. It's like, I've
Right.
never done something like that before.
Right.
So for me, the Schofield thing was like, here's one of my heroes.
Yeah.
And he really, really was. That's
Yeah.
why it was such a big deal for me.
I can imagine. I can't even.
you know,
It's like-
'cause I
Do you remember the
remember-
first gig with him?
Yeah, I was at the Blue Note,
Wow.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and
In New York, I assume.
yeah, the New York Bloom, we did a week, and he's such a good dude. Like, I'll always remember, because there was late nights, and it was winter. It was like February or something like that, and we were always talking about Phil Schaap, because Phil Schaap from WKCR did Bird Flight, and he's like the greatest musicologist or whatever. Like, and nobody will ever come close. Anyway, I know Sco still listens to that stuff, and so do I.
Love that.
And Phil, they were doing reruns of Phil that week, and so he knew that I was driving home in this, like, you know, like a sleet storm, and he's like, "Be careful, Josh. Listen to Phil."
Oh, yeah.
So I always hear that in my
Oh.
mind. Listen to Phil.
Oh.
You know, like,
Keep you on the road.
keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, no, he's a great dude, and I feel like of all those modern guitar players, like, I just had the most in common with him, with his influences are very blues roots, rock, gospel, you name it. Like, he's in the old stuff. He wants to know. He knows that stuff that's not on Spotify. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, that's
He's
the
the real
stuff-
deal.
Yeah, that's the
he
stuff
digs
that
deep.
he really, and that's the stuff we'd always talk about, and like, and getting to know some of the things that he was interested in, and some of the things that he was influenced by when he was younger, like Gary Burton's early records and the Berkeley Cats and all that stuff, and you know,
Somebody of that caliber, you always wonder, like,
Yeah.
what were they listening to?
totally, and like, you know, Steve Swallow, Carla Bley, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, you know, he's So it just adds a dimension when I listen to that stuff now. I feel kind of personally connected to it, and it helps me, in a sense. But at the same time, it is such a small community. So many of us have all passed through that at this point.
Yep.
It's just amazing. I got nothing to say other than it's just amazing.
It is amazing. Play with somebody like that. But you've played with a whole bunch of people, like a whole bunch of variety of people.
I've been around at this point. It's crazy.
And different genres of music too.
Yeah. No, I really kind of, I don't discriminate when it comes to that stuff,
Music is just music, right? Yeah.
No, I did. I always kid people. I'm like, I've been in smooth jazz. I've been in the jam band. I've done free jazz. I've done jazz. I've done fusion. I mean, I've done all the fusion.
But that just
gigs.
says something about you as a drummer, that you're able to do all that, because not every drummer can do all of that. You have your genre and that's that, but you're so versatile, and that you're able just to like, okay, what is it? What are we playing tonight? And you sit there and you just, I remember I was just blown away by you, and you were with a singer.
Yeah.
And
it's a totally different game. Yeah.
And it was just like, but I like heard you, I was focused on you as well as Chrissy, of course, but just like, holy crap, this guy's amazing. Amazing. But you'd played at the Falcon before. I think I had seen you there, and I just, there's too many shows for me to remember who's playing with who. But I remember, I think I had seen you there prior to that with Chrissy as well. But yeah, just good stuff. So Paris Monster, you guys are pretty much writing together and doing
all the
your
time.
thing.
Yeah, we're kind of in between everything right now.
Do you guys live close to each other?
Not right now, but it's not so far.
Right.
Yeah, he's up in Connecticut. So.
Okay, so that's not far.
But I mean, luckily you can just send tracks back and forth now, so it's
so
cool.
easy. Yeah.
But no, we're actually in the middle of working on a new record. So like once that's finished, there'll be like a full-fledged booking campaign and all that stuff.
Yeah. Now, where do you guys record? Do you, in your own homes? Like you have home studios?
I mean, we were threatening to go into a studio, but we're actually like all the stuff we put out recently. I can't believe the drums were recorded in my basement.
Amazing.
And some of the stuff on Opalus, Jeff, he takes my drums and he puts them through the modular, so it's like kind of sounds like electronic drums,
Amazing.
And it's really cool, and that's a lot of what we did on that record, this past record. So, and so that's obviously something you can just do in the box. You don't have to have a studio for that.
Yeah.
And vocals, obviously, I can do.
How many albums Paris Monster has?
2 full length, 1 EP, and just a long list of singles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And now you're working on a full album?
Yeah, another full album.
Great.
And it's great. I mean, we got a thing, and it's in full motion still, which is great.
And it sounds so cool, and it's so much fun. I think we're going to play this next track. When I was doing my homework learning about you, The Sun is Shining. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, that is, I saw that on YouTube when I was like just looking at your music and, getting the vibe and all of that. And I was just like, and then you sent me this. So I thought this was really cool that you sent me this. And this is one of the ones I was looking at. So
can I,
yes.
Can I just say something before this?
Please.
The reason why I wanted to share this one is because this is totally live, no overdubs or anything. And it's like, I just actually like, I mean, I'm a performer for life, but I can't believe how this turned out. And so, because you always just live stuff can be a little cringy sometimes.
Sure.
So this was like good enough to put out. And we did this in Berlin a while back. And it's just a beautiful lyric about a guy who lost his wife, and he wanted to go to the most depressing place. So where the food was bad. And so he goes to the Isle of Man. The UK, of course, we're cracking a joke. It's not like that so much anymore. But, and he wanted to go to a place, and of course he goes there and the weather is beautiful. And so that's what the song's about. Yeah.
The sun is shining like a bastard.
Yeah.
Paris Monster. Let's take a listen here on 91.3 WVKR.
The sunburned old American by a castle, resting for a while begins, examining his map of old Japan, while the tourist touring the Isle of Man. He tears the map, he says enough of you, I must get up and see this precious view. I got 2 more weeks and not a thing to do. The sun is shining like a bastard too. He walks up to a crying boy who swelters in his corduroy. To him as to himself he asks, are you okay? The answer comes at once and pulls the child away. He asks again, are you okay? But louder now and with his head and sway. Yet again, but more subdued. Am I okay? Perhaps I've come unglued. He bumps himself down. He gathers scraps of map. He said I turn right off the exit ramp. We went barreling north on the Palisades south. Our car rang back and forth like a bee in the mouth, and quiet and still before it was done. And life had been pinched like the wick of a lamp. Not much of a thing to be miserable for. It's a wife. They made at least several more. He come here for the lack of sun, for the gray and gloom, and to forget someone, to be underwhelmed by the local food, to stay too long and miss a sullen mood. He lied again, no, I'm not okay. For 40 years I had him every day. I got 2 more weeks without a thing to do. The sun is shining like a bastard too.
91.3 WVKR, Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. The sun is shining like a bastard. And that was Josh Dion on every instrument we know now with Paris Monster. So Josh Dion, my guest today. So seriously, we were watching the YouTube, and which is a really cool video to see on YouTube. Synth, drums, and singing all simultaneously.
Yeah.
That's hard. Not for you.
It is. No, it isn't. It is hard.
Not for you.
It's not smart.
Well, apparently it's doing well for you. I'm just in awe. 3 different things. Here you are with the drumsticks, then you got the synth, and you're into this mic. And to have your brain knowing, I don't know, that's amazing. And that was done live.
It really was.
First
I can't.
take.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, that was because we all live in this realm now where our ears have changed.
Yeah.
Where if something is slightly flat or sharp or something, you gotta fix it.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, just to have a take where I'm like cool with everything.
Yeah.
And and having done all of it at once, because most of the time in the studio I do it either just keys and drums, or I'll do it separately just because of recording.
Sure.
And of course vocals. You recording vocals while you play drums, it's kind of a disaster if you're not really, really good at it.
Right.
So But
well, recording is different, but doing it live is
yeah,
like a whole different animal. I
yeah,
think.
totally.
Do you have any gigs coming up that you want to share with us?
I mean, we've got a handful of gigs, and none are like super local.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say go to Paris Monster. We've got this place, The Mill, which is a really cool art space up in Westport, New York, in the Adirondacks, coming up in a couple of weeks. We're playing. We've got gigs in Connecticut. We've got a gig in Philly, and we've got a gig. All the way to December. There's something in Westchester we just booked. So a series. So it's just little things. We're going to Europe for a few gigs, and that's all happening for the rest of the year. We're really working on the album and
ParisMonster.com.
Yeah.
And and well, I hope you're playing somewhere like we can see you sometime.
That'll happen. And you know what?
And you're always playing with other people too.
That's true.
I
am hustling.
All of a sudden you see like, oh, there he is with this band, or there he is doing this with that.
It's become the nature of living in this area.
Yeah. Yeah. Josh Dion, you're on social media.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Paris Monster and Josh Dion, probably most active on Instagram, Facebook. Obviously, we're on there, and reluctantly on TikTok.
Yeah, I haven't done TikTok, and I don't do what's it called anymore, Twitter or whatever. X.
Yeah, I took myself off.
Yeah,
that.
me too.
I had to.
Me too.
It got it's rough. Yeah, it's rough. And I haven't been super into it lately, but it's if I can find a healthy way of promoting myself and sharing that, I just want to start playing on it more and sharing things and stuff like that. But
that's a nice thing to do, reels and videos and stuff like that. And that's what social media is good for, right? It's like sharing music and things like that. Because we know we can go down rabbit holes with this stuff otherwise. So,
totally.
Yeah, you kind of need to, I don't know, I need to take breaks and all of that. It's not healthy.
Yep.
Not healthy. Josh, what are we playing to go out with?
Oh, let's do.
Probably should have thought about this ahead of time.
How much time do we have?
I don't know. Couple minutes, we're good. I mean, I do have to. By the way, let me just do this legal ID and tell you that you're tuned into 91.3 WVKR, broadcasting live from the beautiful campus here at Vassar College. And I'm Rita Ryan, your host here most Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m., bringing you local emotion, music and the arts here in the Hudson Valley and a little bit beyond, because we've got a Jersey guy here today, but he plays everywhere. So, and I met him at the Falcon. So everything ties into local somehow, doesn't it? It really just does.
Oh yeah, it's a big scene.
So yeah, I mean, give me something you want me to play. The Unclean.
Right there.
Yes. Yeah, that's cool. So that's what we're going to play.
Great.
And then we'll just come back and say goodbye. And if there's anything else you want to say, we can do so at that point. I hope I have the right thing. You never know. Yeah, we do. Oh, this is like the best ice cream in the world.
Is it?
Yeah, if you've never had it before, Tillamook. Yeah, we're skipping through this. Okay, let's take a listen. Paris Monster, The Unclean, here on 91.3.
Comes alive, oh, I know, but twist and turning that I can't what you perceive to be unclean. Something comes alive, oh, I know, by twisting and turning, I can make this different. Smoke the open fire, through sky, burn, emissions burning, 'cause I can't take this, I can't take this.
They are lying intentionally.
Something comes alive, oh, I know, but twist and turning, that I can make this different. Smoke the open fire, through sky, burn, emissions burning, 'cause I can't take this, I can't take this. Stoke the open fire, through sky, burn, emissions burning, 'cause I can't take this, I can't take this.
91.3 WVKR, independent radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. Josh, we're talking too much. We listened a little bit, but we are talking too much. The Unclean,
Yeah.
and that is off of
Opalus.
Opalus.
Yeah, that's the newest one.
I love that. And you're coming out. Do we have a name for your newer music yet, or not yet?
No name.
No name
Yeah.
yet. No name, or you could call it No Name.
Yeah.
And still be fine with that too.
That's right.
So you never know, I mean, geez. So parismonster.com. Josh Dion is on Facebook and Instagram. If you have the opportunity to see him, go run and do it. No matter who he's playing with, go check out Josh Dion. He is a powerhouse of a drummer, of a singer, and he's an extraordinarily nice human, which is the icing on the cake. And I just thank you for bringing such great music. Like, you stood out to me the times I saw you. I was just like, okay, wow, who's this guy? He's just amazing. So the gift of music and sharing your gift and talent with the world is really an extraordinary thing that you can do in your lifetime. So I thank you for your music. I thank you for your talent. Your voice is awesome. Your presence, and you just love music. Like, when you play, I can just tell how much you love it. And you're not just doing it as a job. It's just something that's in you. Like, you were sitting here before the show even started and you're tapping on the desk. And I'm like, okay, I have a drummer in the house.
Yeah. Oh, man. My grandfather used to be like, knock that.
And you're just like, and I'm like smiling here to myself. I was like, it's just part of who you are. It's in your blood. Like, it just, there's no other thing like that. So, so I'm going to say thank you for your time here, and thanks for coming again in person, Josh.
Thank you for having me on the show. Yeah, so much fun.
Thank you. I'm going to start off the second hour with you, and let's just spend a moment, because I do this every single hour where I don't have a guest on LocalMotion. I pay tribute to the late Tony Falco from the Falcon in Marlborough. He passed away October 28th of 2021. Among the many wonderful things he left was a couple of playlists. I'm still on the first one, and this is track number 193. I play the tracks in order that he uploaded them, but I never know what the next one's going to be. I don't allow myself to look, and I still learn about music from Tony Falco. You knew Tony.
I did. Great man.
Yeah. Extraordinary man, and an extraordinary visionary.
Yeah.
With what he built at the Falcon, he just never sat still. You had the main room, had that all done, and then, I got to do the underground, and he built the Falcon Underground. That's, then he did the outside, and then he did a trail in Marlborough. One of the last things he did.
Really?
He did a trail in Marlborough, and I'm going to go walk it in September with his wife. And I remember going there about a month or two after it opened, the Falcon it is, and just walking in there, and I was like, whoa, what is this? And I didn't have to buy a ticket. And the fact that Tony opened that up to where, you throw 50 in the donation box, that's great. Do it if you can. But if you only have $5, you can still come see this music.
Yeah.
I was hooked.
Yeah.
I was hooked.
Yeah, many of us have been lucky enough to play there for a long time now, and it's always been the same, same vibe. And I just remember, anytime I stand over, look at that waterfall, I remember him and I standing there and having this last conversation. Last time I saw him, just about what he was doing and music, and he had like some legendary jazz guys there that day. It was like I'll just never forget it.
Yeah, I had him on the show here many a time, and the last time he came in, he's so cute. He comes in, he brings me this little bakery box. I'm like, Tony, what's this? He's like, well, I couldn't come empty-handed. Bakery from the local Marlboro bakery. I'm like, what? I don't know. I miss him.
Yeah.
I miss him.
I'm glad they're keeping it going.
I am too. And the last time I was there, I saw the Restless Age, which of course is Lee, his son playing. And to where Lee is taking his career now it's beautiful to watch. And every time I'm there, like I can feel Tony's spirit, and you just know he's looking over us, all of us there. And I remember Lee saying one time a few years back, saying, this show is like for my dad. And then he's like, you know what? All the shows are for my dad. So they are.
Heavy.
So Tony, I miss you. We all miss you. And I'm going to play a track now that was number 193 on your playlist by one of your favorite artists, because over the many conversations I had with you, this much I know. And I'm going to play this now. And if you're out there and you're listening and you knew Tony Falco, or you've been to the Falcon, or have any, even if you don't, just imagine this beautiful soul. And this is for him. This one's Bob Dylan, Buckets of Rain, 91.3 WVKR.
very unusual head. He's got a very unusual head. They will take him apart when he's dead. And his very unusual head. 'Cause he's soaring through boring, predictable games that they play. With a glorious noise that can steal all our sad hearts away. Up through the atmosphere, very unusual head. Got a very unusual head. They will take him apart when he's dead. And his very unusual head. Yeah, they're following, swallowing everything he's got to say. But he's wallowing, hollowing, barely can get through the day. But he's coming back again. Scrambling, getting his ducks in a row. He's preambling, gambling. This time the whole thing will go straight through the atmosphere. Got a very unusual head. Got a very unusual head. They will take him apart when he's dead. And his very unusual head. Trumpet part, if you know it. Everyone sing along, very unusual head. Got a very unusual head. They will take him apart when he's dead. And his very unusual head. Sing it again. Got a very unusual head. Got a very unusual head. They will take him apart when he's dead. And his very unusual head. Surely take him apart when he's dead. And his very unusual head. Nice work. Very good. Thank you.
91.3 WVKR, the Slambovian Circus of Dreams live. A very unusual head. And they are bringing their music to the Falcon on Friday night. Probably close to sold out, but you can always give it a shot by going to liveatthefalcon.com to check out Slambovian Circus of Dreams. Such a fun band. So eclectic and just amazing. A lot of fun. Again, Friday at the Falcon, live at thefalcon.com. We got this little segment started by paying tribute to Tony from the Falcon with Bob Dylan, Buckets of Rain on the album Blood on the Tracks, track number 193 on Tony Falco's playlist. And speaking of the Falcon, I will also just a friendly reminder that LocalMotion, our show, is going to host a second annual benefit show at the Falcon on Saturday, November 28th So far, the lineup includes Scott Sherrard of Little Feat, Jack Petrozelli of Joan Osborne and the Fab Four, and a bunch of other great groups. Cindy Cashdollar, which, I mean, she's just amazing, has played with so many great people. Caroline Bryan will be there, my daughter, who's touring with Rachel Yamagata. Carl Allwire will be there, and the list is going to keep growing with special guests to be announced. You can make your reservation by going to liveatthefalcon.com. Look for the date of November 28th. Scroll down and check out the LocalMotion second annual show. This is going to be a benefit, so you don't need to buy a ticket, but a donation is kind of highly suggested for the benefit. So we're going to benefit two local nonprofit organizations. The first one here in Dutchess County is going to be Hudson Valley Animal Rescue and Sanctuary. And we'll also benefit the Washburn House in Ulster County for domestic violence. So all funds collected that night will get split between those two organizations. We're going to have representatives from both organizations there speaking about them. And last year, the show sold out, booked up in about 2 weeks. And I don't know where we are right now with the bookings, but I know there's quite a few people that have already booked. So get in on it, liveatthefalcon.com. LocalMotion, second annual benefit concert Saturday, Saturday, November 28th. All right, keeping the music going now. This gentleman will be playing tonight in Woodstock at Colony. Let's take a listen to Brian Mitchell here on 91.3.
Join the band. Join the band. Everybody come together and join the band. I want you to join the band. Join the band. Everybody come together and join the band. What kind of band are you talking about? The kind of band that make you jump and shout. Let's all come together and join the band. You got a song you want us to play? We're gonna play it our own way. Let's all come together and join the band. Join the band. Join the band. Everybody come together and join the band. Join the band. Come on, join the band. Everybody come together and join
In my dreams, I'm in Neverland. Those walls don't mean a thing. I'm in Neverland. I'm in Neverland. And I can climb into your pocket, walk the streets of my nightmares. I can feel it when you're moving. I am here, I am there, and I won't fall down. I won't fall down. No battles, kings or queens. This is holy ground. And I'm a willing refugee in a fearless town. Shadows can be light if you learn to see that there is nothing wrong or right about you and me. Baby, you and me. I'm in Neverland, in an open place, in a space between being and knowing. Here in Neverland, I can hide my face, but my feet know where they're going. And I won't fall down. No, I won't fall, baby, I won't fall down. In my dreams, I'm in Neverland. These walls don't mean a thing. I'm in Neverland. I'm in Neverland. I'm in Neverland. This is Neverland. I'm in Neverland. This is Neverland. This is Neverland. I'm in Neverland. I'm in Neverland. This is Neverland. I'm in Neverland. This is Neverland. This is
Ah, I just love her. That's Gail Ann Dorsey. The album called I Used to Be. It was released over 20 years ago, and we heard the track called Netherland. Gail Ann Dorsey is, I don't know, I could talk hours about Gail Ann Dorsey. She is an unbelievable vocalist, guitarist, mainly known as a bassist and known for her time, her decade or more with David Bowie. She also played with, toured with Lenny Kravitz, Tears for Fears, Pink, and the list goes on and on and on. We're so lucky that she's our neighbor here in the Hudson Valley. She's going to be at an event that is happening on Sunday in Woodstock. It's Democracy Rocks 2. It is a benefit and it's a rally for local, indivisible, pro-democracy efforts and Ulster Rapid Response's Ice Watch. It's Sunday, August 16th. The doors are opening at 2. The show is from 3 to 9. The event is going to take place rain or shine. Right now, weather looks great for Sunday at the Colony Beer Garden. It's a great space and a huge space. A lot of great picnic tables. And the event is going to be an all-star roster of amazing musicians, including our Gail Ann Dorsey, who we just heard. Also, Natalie Merchant will be there. Kate Pearson of the B-52s, Professor Louie and the Chromatics, Jenna Nichols, the Mark Black Band, the Bluebirds, and the Bobcats. All-star lineup. It's a 6-hour show. Again, Colony Beer Garden. Democracy Rocks 2. You can get tickets right at the gate on Sunday. And again, the gates open at 2 o'clock. colonywoodstock.com for tickets and no tickets, just for information about that. You just go get your ticket at the gate. That's all you got to do. Sunday gates open at 2 o'clock for a very worthy cause. Another wonderful event happening this weekend is happening at Maverick Concerts. The great jazz pianist Fred Hirsch will be there. Let's take a listen to his music right here now on 91.3.
It was just what I needed.
Curtain falls in a care home or big city hospital. If you haven't given it his eyes as he strikes his daughter, and his only son resembles his father. We give it away before hearing, I'm sorry. Maybe yours was plundered and cursed by somebody first who needed it worse. At the end, if you're poor and I'm rich, with this currency I'll be a socialist. As your curtain falls and I study your hands in the hospital, I understand if you keep the rest, if you need whatever's left. Some people have a lot, it just seeps through our chests like holy wine. At the end, if you're poor and I'm rich, then there's time, I'll give you some of mine.
.3 WVKR, the lovely voice of Spencer LaHoy. And we just heard the track called Forgiveness, the album Shadow Puppets. Spencer LaHoy will be bringing their incredible voice and their music to Pine Plains at the Stissing Center this Friday night. Tickets and information at stissingcenter.org. Again, Spencer LaHoy this Friday night. And it's just such a wonderful venue. Just a few weeks ago, we had Patrick in, the executive director of the Stissing House. And it's just really a wonderful, wonderful venue. And they have 2 floors. They have the gray stage and then the upstairs. And it's just a great nonprofit organization right in Pine Plains. Again, Spencer LaHoy this Friday night. We also heard Fred Hirsch. Falling Grace was the track, the album Fables, and Ferns. And Fred Hirsch will be bringing his trio of jazz to Woodstock this Saturday at Maverick Concerts, another gem of a venue here in the Hudson Valley that is completely seasonal. And they have such a beautiful lineup. Sunday afternoons, it's classical chamber quartets. Saturdays and Fridays, there's jazz, there's world music, there's a little bit of everything. And it's just a really great venue. So you can see Fred Hirsch Saturday night at Maverick Concerts in Woodstock. Tickets available at maverickconcerts.org. And we are now going to play Annalise and Ryan, and they're just a great couple. They live in Beacon but travel the world, and they are going to be playing Saturday on the Salon stage at Town Crier. Let's take a listen to Annalise and Ryan here on 91.3.
I feel you messing around with my controls. You're pushing all my buttons, trying to cease my roll. I got 2 rails and a pretty good idea where I wanna go. There's plenty of earth, so find your own path to hoe. You can't stop this train, you can't stop this train, you can't stop it. It only halts for weak, sweet souls who wanna hop it. The engine runs on love and faith and esteem. It just wishes you well. You can't stop this train, you can't stop this train, you can't stop it. Rushed by a lot of homes, the curtains were too thin. I've seen a lot of people doing the best they can. With nothing left to give, but still more is asked of them. From town to town, seems like the struggle never ends. You can't stop this train, you can't stop this train, you can't stop it. It keeps on going even if you decide to jump off it. The engine runs on love and faith and esteem, it just wishes you will. You can't stop this train, it's never gonna derail. What if I could just enjoy the ride, forgetting all the fears I try to hide, with the moments of my life flying by, would I find what I couldn't find? You can't stop this train, you can't stop this train, you can't stop it. Stop it. It only halts for weak, sweet souls who wanna hop it. The engine runs on love and faith and esteem, it just wishes you well. You can't stop this train, you can't stop this train, you can't stop it. You can't stop this train, you can't stop this train, you can't stop it. You can't stop this train, you can't stop this train.
Coming right up, coming right up. Stay with us. Say
construction worker working on home. Might be living in a mansion, might be living in a dome. You may own guns and you may own tanks. You may be somebody's landlord and you may own banks, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Gonna have to serve. It may be the devil or the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. You may be a preacher preaching spiritual pride. You may be a city councilman taking bribes on the side, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Maybe the devil or maybe the Lord. You're gonna have to serve somebody. Might like to wear cotton, might like to wear silk. I see you drinking that whiskey, you drink milk. You eat caviar on some bread. You may be sleeping on the floor and sleeping on a king size bed, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Yeah, you're gonna have to serve. Yeah. It may be the devil or it may be the Lord. You're gonna have to serve somebody. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
91.3 WVKR. What a great collaboration between Lisa Fisher and Javon Jackson. Bob Dylan's Gotta Serve Somebody. The two of them will also be part of this weekend's Jazz in the Valley, a one-day festival at Warriors Park in Poughkeepsie, and it's a beautiful place. It's right on the river between the Mid-Hudson Bridge and between the walkway over the Hudson. Jazz in the Valley, NY.org for tickets and information. I believe the doors open at 11 and it goes till about 6 o'clock. It's a full event. Jazz in the Valley, NY.org. They will feature Lisa Fisher, Javon Jackson, and a whole bunch of other great jazz artists. Do not miss it. Jazz in the Valley, NY.org, this Sunday at Warriors Park, right in beautiful downtown Poughkeepsie. We also heard Annalise and Ryan, their track called Can't Stop This Rain. They'll be playing in Beacon at the legendary Town Crier this Saturday night on the Salon stage. So you don't need tickets to go to that. Have a nice little dinner, see some great live music, and check out Annalise and Ryan. And check out the Town Crier's website for all their great lineup of events happening there, towncrier.com, and that's town spelt with an E, crier.com. And we're coming to the end of the show, which means it's time for musical happenings, where we list in alphabetical order some of our area venues and what's going on in them to hopefully get you out and see some live music. We've got a plethora of it happening right here in the Hudson Valley. Let's start up in Kingston with the Assembly. Tickets and info, assemblykingston.com. August 28th, Battle of the Bands. September 4, Michaela Davis. Bardavon and UPAC. Info and tickets at bardavon.org. September 6th, Battle of the Bands, Beatles or Stones. September 18, Alex Edelman. Bearsville Theater in Woodstock and at bearsvilletheater.com. August 13, Tim O'Brien, Sam Grissman, and Victor Furtado. August 14, North Mississippi All-Stars. August 15, Tribe of Love. And August 16, Mateo Mancuso. Colony in Woodstock and colonywoodstock.com. Visit the website for the shows happening at the Beer Garden. Tonight, Brian Mitchell and Friends. Thursday, Sunny Rocks Pro Jam. Friday, A Band of Brothers. Saturday, J. Moy and Friends. Sunday, Democracy Rocks in the Garden. And every Monday is an open mic at Colony. The Falcon in Marlborough and live at thefalcon.com. Tonight at the Falcon Underground Blues Jam hosted by Carl Allwire. Thursday, La La Tamar. Friday, Slambovian Circus of Dreams. They're closed for a wedding on Saturday, and on Sunday, Mr. Gone at the Falcon. Jazz Forum in Tarrytown and at jazzforumarts.org. August 14th, Chad L.B. August 15, Quentin Harris. Maverick Concerts in Woodstock and at maverickconcerts.org. August 15, Fred Hirsch Trio. August 16, Angela Hewitt. Opus 40 in Saugerties and opus40.org. August 22nd, Euphonia, a Balkan and Brass Music Festival. The Stissing Center in Pine Plains and stissingcenter.org. August 14, Spencer LaHoy. August 21, Open Mic. Tarrytown Music Hall in Tarrytown and at tarrytownmusichall.org. August 13, Watch House. September 8, Melissa Etheridge. Town Crier in Beacon and towncrier.com. Every Thursday is an open mic. Friday on the Salon stage, Annie Mash Duo. On the main stage, Cliff Eberhardt and Vance Gilbert. Saturday on the Salon stage, Annalise and Ryan. On the main stage, The Weaklings, Music of the Beatles. Sunday brunch with Eric Puente, Jazz Quartet. And Sunday night, open mic invitational. Jazz in the Valley at Warriors Park, Poughkeepsie, this Sunday, August 16th, featuring Lisa Fisher, Javon Jackson, and more. Info at jazzinthevalleyny.org. Last but not least, Summer Hoot at the Ashokan Center in Olive Bridge, August 28th through 30th, featuring the Milk Carton Kids, Tuba Skinny, Gail Ann Dorsey, and more. Info and tickets at hoot.love. And speaking of Hoot.love, that's next week's guest. Mike Miranda from The Mammals will be joining us here on LocalMotion, and we'll be talking all things Summer Hoot. So stay tuned for that. In 2 weeks, we have Manuel Quintana, another great area drummer. In a couple of more weeks, starting